coached me on the phone a few times and helped me when I wasn't sure of some things. 3 times John Halligan has brought our case to the door with Jimmy Kelly. He brought the people in, and that's why I have John Halligan standing beside me today. He actively did this for us. John brought everyone to the door, and he did approach. He brought everyone in and said, "This is just so wrong. There's people dying every week. Something has to be done to help these people." Our team said they were indeed very sympathetic, but that was exactly all they were. Over a year later, there's still more people after dying this year, which we were all devastated over. And I just want to ask you one thing. If Andy Kenny was asked that there's a little problem with your pension, would you mind waiting a year or 2, or maybe 5? I can imagine what his answer would be. So I want him to look at us today and say this is not correct. Over there picking out the trees and helping to harass the people of Waterford for the last 6 weeks. As the anti-skeleton Tom Allen and Ian Paul, and indeed little Billy Shanahan. He was absolutely fantastic, Billy Shanahan. We just have a few small words today. We're not going to keep you, this isn't going to them. I'm going to introduce you now to I'm actually going to introduce you to the man who I went to at the very beginning when I approached him about this. I asked for the support of the union to help me to do this, to highlight this for Waterford and for Ireland. I went to Tommy Hogan and I gave the presentation, and he 100% backed me on the day, and I was very happy with that. So Tommy, I want you to say a few words, and I want to say thanks for everything.
The first thing we have to say is that Maria has done an absolutely wonderful job here today. We could have a very large walk today here, and that we could again highlight freedom, justice, and work formally of Waterford justice. Now, let's hope that today's walk is probably the last leg in a long walk for pension justice that has gone on for the last 8.5 years. We welcomed the intervention of Kieran Mundy and the LRC into the situation. And we know that the Minister brought that about. This didn't drop out of the sky. Why did it take 5.5 years for this to happen? Why were people allowed to be without the income that they had earned over some people up to 40 years of work? They were allowed to go without that income over the last 5 years. Numbers of people have reached their 70th birthday without having their pension that they're legally entitled to. Others of our colleagues, unfortunately, have passed away without the comfort of knowing that their families would be secure on the pensions that they were owed. And let us be quite clear, no proposal coming back from the LRC that doesn't include those people's families and dependents will be entertained by ourselves. As I said, this has taken 5 years to happen. Right? It didn't drop out of the sky. There was a lot of people involved in this. First of all, this was the most expensive, and is the most expensive, legal case that United has ever taken. Our friends in situ who have supported this have made a financial contribution to this. Additionally, the Irish Congress of Trade Unions have been involved in this at the very senior level with David Beggs. This has all been driven by the Irish Regional Secretary of Unite, Jimmy Kelly, and the Irish Secretary, Walter Cullen. And this is what they've been doing for the last number of years. It's also taken a long time both legally and politically campaign. And in that regard, we've had from the very outset the support of Deputy John Halligan and Senator Cullinan. And I have to say on behalf of Senator Cullinan, he's unable to be with us here today. He has a long-standing commitment speaking at a conference in Brussels, but he sends his best wishes to today's event. And both of them have been very supportive over that period. They organised a wider group of our office members who lobbied the minister on our behalf, and then decided to see the minister on a number of occasions. So we'd like to thank the lads for that, and we know they'll be with us to the end, because we ain't at the end yet. Something that needs to be said about Waterford Prison and the workforce. The last 5 years isn't the history of Waterford Prison. Waterford Prison was in existence for 62 years prior to that. Hundreds of millions of euros and pounds are paid into state coffers through tax, PRSI, VAT and company taxes by the workers of Waterford Prison. The 3,500 jobs at its peak that gave massive employment in this city and county and to its hinterland in South Kilkenny and Wexford. But those jobs, those 3,500 jobs are all lost. The multiplier effect of those is estimated by the people who know these things and think about these things at 1 or 1.5 times. So for each job that there was in Waterford Prison, another job was created downstream in this city. Or 1.5, so at its peak there was an additional 2,000 jobs generated by the activity of Waterford Prison. The workforce in that company put Waterford on the map throughout the world. In all the great public buildings of the Western world, you can see the handicraft and the brilliance of the product that they produce. The great skills that people had in that plant out there. And give Waterford an international reputation because of the product that was there. So I don't want to go into now, just I want to make a reference, because we must put reality in the face. Make no mistake about it, the workers of Waterford Prison made a massive contribution to this city and a massive contribution to the industrial and economic life of this city. They also involved themselves in many other things outside of that. Cultural organisations, sporting organisations and community organisations, they were a part of that. They were parts of the fabric of this city, and many of them still are. Jack O'Connor, on the occasion of the centenary of the founding of the Great Irish Transport General Workers Union, at a special meeting convened in the City Council, said that the contribution that the workers of Waterford Prison had made in the economy of this city could never be estimated, and that they were a byword in solidarity to workers up and down this country, and the injustice that had been perpetrated against them could not be left undone. The Labour movement owed a duty of care to the workers of Waterford Prison, and he has kept his word on that since it has come up with a financial contribution to support this case. Now there are others who want to paint a black picture of Unite and of the workforce of Waterford Prison and of working people generally in this town. The anonymous poison pen of the Phoenix column in the News and Star has regurgitated lies over the years against the working people in this town, particularly the workers of Waterford Prison. The modus operandi that's used is that if you tell a lie and repeat it often enough, it becomes the truth. And the lie is, as I say, that working people are records, that they drove investment for this town. Anybody who have ever stood up for their rights have been abused in this way. And that column has done that on a continuous basis. The character who writes it obviously stays anonymous and is not prepared to show his face. I'm going to wind up there now. I just want to say that the other aspect of Waterford Prison that was a byword within the Irish Labour movement and the Army was that workers who were involved in difficulties and struggles with strikes, etc., were supported the length and breadth of this country, whether north or south, financially, by the workers of Waterford Prison. The great miners' strike of 1984 and 85, and the Liverpool box strike some years later, are supported by financial contributions given by workers from their wages on a weekly basis. Unite activists, in conjunction with the Waterford Prison trade unions, were prominent in bringing children and miners to Waterford, to Woodstock, for holidays during that epic defiant strike in Britain that had such an influence in this country and the influence. Likewise, during our own difficulties in 1990, a 14-week strike around our Congress, a number of groups and our members went to England, went to towns like Liverpool, and some of the mining communities in London. And that solidarity was returned in spades. For up to a year after that strike, we received financial donations from workers in Liverpool. I think it's important that we should say that and acknowledge that that is the problem of There's nothing stopping the minister at this point in time from agreeing that our just demands should be met. There was no delay for the people who ran this country into the ground, dirty and his crew. Their pensions were paid over pronto. There will be no delay. There will be no trips to the Irish High Court. There will be no trips to the European Court of Justice. For Rory, the country is in receivership when? For Rabbit or for Gilmore when they decide to put their hands on those golden pensions that are going to receive. Remember, the people who we're dealing with have moved the age of entitlement from the old age pension from 65 to 68. Anybody here today who's 53 and younger will not be entitled to their old age pension until they're 68 years of age. That is a crime. That was done to pay gamblers and bankers. And this government is presiding over the fact that half of the current workforce do not have pension cover. They are mainly women and younger women, and that is an absolute shame because problems will build up for people years down the road. We all grow old very, very quickly. There's nothing stopping them from paying this money over and paying what they're owed. So justice for pension workers here.